一定是你还是太小心，直到我睡得轻。
Color, shape, and number.
Color?
Red, love, 5.
Very good.
Color?
Red, window, 3.
Very good.
Black, thinking.
Don't throw the card. Don't throw the card. Put on the table.
Red, love, A.
Very good.
Red, love, A.
Very good.
Red, window, 6.
Very good.
Red, window, 10.
Very good.
Black, flower, 2.
Very good.
红片 K， 菱形，
红色菱形 K，
黑色小王，
黑色小王，
黑色梅花七，
黑色梅花七，有，让你看一下，转你看一下，有吗？
没有，
这边，
红色心形五，
红色星星5，
黑色梅花 K，
梅花 K， 好，给好，谢谢，好，好在你前面。外面念那个号码，好。外面念那个号码，这个前面的号码。
XA2536111。
哇塞！
对吗？
对的，对的。
是的，来。
M0759967773。
哇塞！开始从念。
SA248232215。
OK， 好。
WU53392280。
好，好，谢谢。
读这个吗？
啊，读。
我北京阳光。
Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm Daffy, your MC for today. Welcome to our Monday Zoom health sharing. The topic that we are going to talk about today is what is hydrogen and what is solid hydrogen. Okay, so our speaker for today, I believe everyone know, it's our teacher, SK Tan. If you guys have any question during the Zoom health sharing, you guys can just type in the chat box or even note it down and ask during in our Q&A session, okay? Okay, so without further delay, I think we should start our class already. So I will pass my mic to SK to let our class begin. All right.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jeffrey, for the introduction. Okay, welcome. Welcome to today's session about Hydrogen 101 and solid hydrogen. Definitely appreciate your effort and hope you have enjoyed your dinner prior to coming to this session. Don't go for the supper if you can. Okay, without further delay, we just kickstart. Allow me to share my PPT. Okay, good evening. Once again, my name is SK Tan. Okay, my SK Tan, and thank you for being here. And my primary goal is to be able to do education for people to appreciate how to retain their health by using technology plus natural, which I call it technopathy. And I personally actually very much focus into the brain and mind management. One of the way for you to remember my name, I normally introduce my present, SK equals to Suka Kawan. When I'm dealing with kids, they will call me Suka Kacau. Ladies, I'm sure you heard a very popular cosmetic program or a product called namely SK2. And I'm dealing with recycling or environmental friendly. I normally also introduce myself as Sampa King. It's not that I want to belittle myself, but it's to objectively want you to remember my name at ease. Okay, of course, before I can really indulge myself into the health, I did have a lot of challenges with my health personally because of my bad diet, wrong lifestyle, and also prescribing with too much of medication due to my injury to my neck. So eventually I collapsed and I restore my health by going this natural way. So that's where I actually regained my consciousness with a desire, with my determination. I want to go with a very simple philosophy, which is actually simple living and high thinking. Okay, again, my name is SK. And if people ask me what I do, I'll just give them this. This is my positioning as well. Like I'm a brain applicator. I'm a re-innovator. In 21st century, we don't need any new invention. We just have to know how to re-innovate by combining them together. But in addition or on top of that, I'd like to see how I can apply from the brain points of view. I'm also a life coach focusing on learning and wellness. I'm certified by the government as a certified trainer. I love to do about green energy because, like I say, I like to restore the mother health. Not only helping the individual to regain health, I also want to see how I can restore the health for the Mother Earth. So where I actually study a lot about green energy together with microbes, we call it microorganism. I love education and I love to teach. And I like to teach from the perspective of like understanding how the brain and the mind works. It's like, even if I train you, I also want you to understand a lot of analogy or example. I'm a health educator with technopathy, means actually like technology plus natural path. And of course, I also have developed a method called SITS for the health, primarily focusing on how to sleep, how to eat, how to exercise, how to drink lots of good water, take care of your posture, your body spine, and also understanding how the supplement works for us. Okay, so here, therefore, I want to disclaim, okay, I want to make a disclaimer that whatever I share is my personal experience, and it's actually my personal practices whereby I gain from the benefit of these experiences. Therefore, whatever I share, I definitely want you to listen up carefully, but at the same time, don't trust anything I say. Do your research, do your studies, and go and explore and explain, probably even do finding, compare with other people who have the similar experiences. So this is all about our, what I call our experiences and our initiative. Okay, the topic that I'm going to cover today is about Hydrogen 101 and solid hydrogen. Before that, I should just share with you, there's no such thing called sickness or diseases because it all comes from one source. To make it simple, is that any name or terminology, what they call the sickness terminology that you heard about, it all comes from one source. One source, which is actually called free radical. Free radical is everywhere. It's happening to everybody, happening to any biological living objects that applies same to our body. So we can actually produce a lot of free radical based on inflammation, based on even the inhaling oxygen. Any excess of 2% of oxygen will cause a lot of free radical. UV light, because our ozone has been destroyed. So UV light is actually killing our cell and generating a lot of free radical. And the consequences of free radical will actually damages a lot of DNA cells. And that's where a lot of issue occurring to our body. That's the reason why World Health Organization announced that more than 80% of the population, that means the population of the people on Earth are considered sub-health. That means we are at the borderline, neither we are sick nor we are healthy. This is all really because of the free radical attack. And of course, one of the major reasons is because of the food diet, the lifestyle, the sleeping quality. Because of technology, it's actually deteriorating our health. Now, to make it even simpler, to elaborate further, they are basically in every part of our body are comprises of cells. And all these cells are basically, if you understand into the atom, they're actually forming of the electron, proton, electron, and the neutron. Well, a stable molecule is always stable, operating on its own until it starts to age and it dies eventually. But free radical are basically like it's a waste produced by the end result or a byproduct of the energy. For example, if I pump the petrol inside the car will emit energy by combusting with the oxygen. Subsequently, at the end of the car, through the exhaustion, it will produce the monoxide dioxide. Same thing to the human being. We eat food, we drink food, but it actually produces the energy. But eventually, there's some wastage or wastage got produced. We call the produce as a byproduct, which will come up from our urination, through our skin, to actually through the sweating. Same goes to the pus motion. But again, when excesses of this waste cannot be eliminated, they become an unstable cell, which they're actually missing the electron. And that's where it actually will cause the damages to our cell at the DNA level. And we call this oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is a common name used in the medical term, whereby it actually indicating the cell now get deteriorated because they're losing the electron. So they've been chewed up by the free radical, eventually they die off. Okay, meaning to say, if you look at an apple, you cut into the half, you see a white stage flesh, eventually they become brownish and darker because they are losing their antioxidant function. Now, how do we neutralize it? A lot of people have perception. We just have to take a lot of food. But again, you must always remember, you must obtain food that has high antioxidant, meaning to say it can donate its own, electron to be able to pair up with the free radical. I mean, this is excessive. And mostly, where do you get them from? Fresh foods, fresh vegetable, and of course, anything as much as you can go for raw. Can you get it from the meat? Can you get it from the animal? Very minimum. Not that it's not possible, but it's very minimum. Mostly, all these free radicals are produced from the fresh vegetable and fruits. And to even go further, what does it really do? Antioxidant are basically, I will give an analogy, like you supply them with a lot of bodyguards. These bodyguards at all times are ready to fight against the attack of the free radical, because free radical are basically unstable cell, whereby they need to actually go and steal some of the electron to stabilize itself. So instead of you have to steal from the cell from our body, why don't you donate out by consuming a lot of fruits and vegetables? Like even look at turmeric, ginger, cucumber, anything that's actually as raw as possible, like comparing with green apple and the red apple. Green apple has higher antioxidant. So these are able to donate a lot of electron to be able to neutralize, okay, the free radical. It's just like they had to pair it up. But again, the challenge is actually today's supply in terms of produce from the vegetable, even from the fruits, they are not as nutrients as you think about it. I give an example. If 25 years ago, if you were to take one piece of strawberry, 25 years ago, if you were to take one piece of strawberry, today you have to take 1 kg of strawberry to have equivalent amount of nutrition value from that one piece. Imagine 1 kg versus one piece 25 years ago. Now, another good example, 25 years ago, if you were to take one piece of sweet corn, today you have to take 18 pieces of the sweet corn in order to have the equivalent amount of the nutrition value from that one piece. So imagine that a lot of fruits or even vegetables that we consume today might not be adequately produce you the antioxidant. That's the reason why we have to find alternative. That alternative has been discovered by this gentleman called Dr. Okta, OHTA. In 2005, what Dr. Okta does as a Japanese, they are always emphasize a lot about alkaline water. In every household, it's very common for them to have what they call alkaline machine that produce alkaline water. But when Dr. Okta discovered further, he wants to see how he can make the powerhouse, namely mitochondria, to be able to charge up more energy, because every cell, the higher the energy in milliwatt, the more powerful it becomes. Then he discovered it wasn't just about the alkalinity from the mineral, there are something about it. Then slowly when he researched about all the longevity villages or the country, he discovered it was a different kind of antioxidant, and this super antioxidant is called hydrogen. So 2005, he discovered hydrogen is a key to be able to supply surplus of this antioxidant to be able to restore our health, especially helping the powerhouse mitochondria to boost up the energy. So that's why he became very popular. And subsequently, on 2009, this gentleman, namely Taylor from America, he got inspired by Dr. Ockham, and he actually formed a non-profit organization called Molecular Hydrogen Institute. And if you understand further, for people who want to do research about hydrogen, you always look at two words, either H2, H and 2 combined, I mean H and the 2 digit, or you can look for Molecular Hydrogen Institute. To save your time and effort, just go to this Molecular Hydrogen Institute to do more finding about what we are doing or what we are offering today. Because you can see a lot of publications have been published inside this website, all from all over the world. Now even China are one of the significant contributor to this research, and there are more than 1,140 publications have been published. Just go and study them. You don't know anything about hydrogen, go to this website. You'll be able to impress upon to know what hydrogen can really do and restore our health the natural way and with surplus of this antioxidant. And I call it super antioxidant. Now, Taylor have been publishing, he have been visiting a lot of places. We actually invite a lot of experts to come and do research about this hydrogen. And of course, in America, this popular guy called Dr. McCullough. McCullough is a strong advocate promoting about H2. In fact, he produces H2 himself in the tablet form. And it's actually quite expensive. You can actually go and research about him. And he actually believes that molecular hydrogen, which is H2, is actually the most exciting, the more profoundly effective antioxidant that can be found. This is the best choice available. Well, okay, to go further, there's a Nobel Prize winner who actually won into this physiology in medicine in 1937. His name is Albert. Okay, he actually focused about antioxidant as well, but he focused on vitamin C. But when you really want to actually go and discover further, it's all about the field eventually found in hydrogen. Now, today we are talking about hydrogen. What is hydrogen? If you really understand hydrogen, hydrogen is found everywhere. It's found abundantly in any part of the water as well in the universe. Okay, it is in fact, if you look at a periodic table that for people who study chemistry, you will look at the first element as number 1 is hydrogen. This hydrogen happens to be the lightest, the smallest, and yet the strongest antioxidant can be found as an anti-free radical. That means that to suppress or to neutralize the free radical. It can remove free radical from any part of the body. Now, if you look at vitamin C, the vitamin C, there's a challenge. Vitamin C is good antioxidant. That's the problem is that it cannot penetrate into protein, whereas hydrogen as an element by itself, it is the smallest molecule in the universe, but the good thing is actually it can penetrate in any part of the body. I mean, it doesn't just work on human being, it can work on any living object. Therefore, we name it as the most potential and new antioxidant. Please note, this is the reason why you are here. Understanding what hydrogen is all about, and eventually we're going to introduce something more solid called solid hydrogen. Now, in the world of the oxidation, it's always versus the reduction, while it's to strike the balance. Okay, what happened is everybody learned from science. We have done a lot of experiment. When you have a nail, iron nail, okay, when you expose to the air, where the air is humid with a lot of damp, with a lot of water, it will cause rust. We call that oxidize. Now, even if you put in the oxygen, okay, you will see there's some rust. But you see on this chart, if you look at the chart, if you put the iron into a hydrogen water, the problem with hydrogen water, because water is light, therefore they can vaporize very easily. Despite in the market, there's a lot of people been promoting hydrogen this, hydrogen that, primarily focusing on hydrogen gas for inhaling and hydrogen water for drinking. But either or, they are not able to sustain for long because they are not meant to stay inside the water for a long period of time, due because they are gas-based. If you understand, like people who are familiar with chlorine can reside inside the water, but it can only last for 24 hours. Whereas hydrogen is too light, it might only perhaps last for 30 minutes. So if your hydrogen not able to retain itself inside the water, eventually they'll be penetrated and they become oxidized by the air. And that's where you also will cause the iron to be rusted over a period of time. Whereas if you look at solid hydrogen, it's different. Solid hydrogen is a dissolved hydrogen inside the water, residing for a long period of time. It can be as long as 3 days up to even 1 year. It all depends on how you take care of the water or the liquid. So eventually, this iron can be safely saved and protected inside a solid hydrogen dissolved water. Now, the whole idea is for you to understand everything can be oxidized. That means there's no way you can retain the vegetable, the fruits, or even the meat to be as fresh as possible. Over a period of time, they will be oxidized, merely because there's a lot attacked by the oxygen. And this oxygen will turn them into free radical. For example, you look at an apple. When you cut them, it is fresh, okay? But when you soak in the water, they will still be oxidized because there's nothing to protect against the invasion from the free radical. So they will oxidize over the time. But when you soak inside the hydrogen, yes, it will retain it for a while. Like I say, hydrogen, technically, the fastest will only about 30 minutes. Perhaps the longest with some technology, they can retain it for a period of hours. But eventually, it will still be oxidized. Whereas if you soak inside the solid hydrogen, which I'll elaborate later, they soak in the water, dissolve with the hydrogen that's solid. And it only starts to be activated upon there's an attack by the free radical. So you can always see that the apple or even any fruits can be retained in freshness inside the water. Now, oxidation versus reduction. Oxidation is all about reducing. Hydrogen will reduce oxygen, is to neutralize the free radical attack. Whereas oxidation is to neutralize on the other party, which is hydrogen. So they always have to go for balance. But the only challenge actually, which has more. But in the event, if they are able to consistently become balanced, that means H2 as a molecule hydrogen combined with the free radical as O+. Always remember, we typically address the free radical carry a charge called O ionized, we call positive ion. So whenever they get combined, they become the end product, we call the byproduct as water. So you can safely understand that hydrogen is very safe to be able to neutralize all the toxin, all the garbage, or even a free radical in the body, because by the end of the day, they will produce water. If my body do not have enough water, which I'm dehydrated, then you'll be appreciating by absorbing this water. Anything excess, you'll just be purging out through the elimination system. To make it simple for your clear understanding, molecular hydrogen reduces oxidative stress and inflammation. Oxidative stress eventually will lead to inflammation. So let me to say oxidative stress comes first before inflammation. Therefore, imagine if oxidative stress and inflammation can be suppressed, your body starts to restore the health. Now, there comes the question, can my body produce hydrogen? Can our body produce hydrogen? The answer is yes. In fact, if we are super healthy, every day without fail, your body is supposed to naturally produce 10 to 12 liters of this hydrogen automatically. Where are they produced from? It's actually from your last intestine. Okay, I repeat, our body does produce hydrogen every day. Condition is that this is only provided with some condition applied, term and condition applied. But naturally, if you look at babies when they're super healthy, they don't have problem with the health. They don't have problem with any attack of the free radical because automatically in their large intestine, they are producing 10 to 12 liters of this hydrogen every day to neutralize all the toxin, the free radical daily. There's no problem at all. But unfortunately, as we grow, as we start growing, become elder and elder, or even aging and aging, that's a challenge with our large intestine. Because like I said, there's a lot of bad lifestyle, bad habit. We don't sleep on time. We are not eating right and so forth. Now, how do you produce hydrogen from the body? Okay, please understand, I highlight most of the keywords. The number one, you have to eat a lot of fiber-rich food. Even you talk about fiber-rich, what are they referring to? There are a lot of food, they actually come with a lot of fiber, and mostly they are coming from vegetable and fruits. Unfortunately, today's the people on earth are more consuming more meat or even protein than a fiber-rich food. So this is one of the challenges whereby your large intestine fail to actually produce the hydrogen. The second is actually our intestine must have proper friendly bacteria. Well, again, unfortunately, if we really go and study majority of the human being on earth, in their large intestine, they're severely deficient on this friendly bacteria. And this is the cause of, we call dysbiosis. I mean, our body cannot, the large intestine cannot function normally for bowel movement, for pass motion. And because of this bowel movement, because of this malfunction of the large intestine, it actually causes only about 30% of the immune function to be workable. 30% only. Okay, you see, there's a reason why you look at a lot of authority, experts, even scientists that keep on claiming that we have one big brain at the head, our second brain are residing at our large intestine. Why? It functions as a second brain. And when people say there's a leaky gut, gut means actually referring to large intestine have been leaking out or broken, it actually causes leaky brain. And because we do not have a lot of friendly bacteria inside the large intestine. And what do? They will break down all this into fatty acid. Okay, they mean to say any food, okay, any food that we take inside the body in the large intestine, in order to produce a hydrogen, all the bacteria in the gut will produce this hydrogen. And the condition for this probiotic, they have to be under anaerobic. Anaerobic means actually there are two types. One is with oxygen, one is without oxygen. With oxygen, we call aerobic exercises. Without oxygen, we call anaerobic. So even the microbes, the flora family in the large intestine must be able to withstand, okay, working in an environment whereby with no oxygen at all. They are not working in the acidic, they don't need oxygen to function. Because when there's abundance of this bacteria, and how much are there? There are more than 100 billion bacteria, friendly bacteria, must be residing in your large intestine, preparing to be able to do all the necessary job, especially breaking down the fiber into what they call fatty acid. When these fatty acid are able to establish or converted, they will start converting this fatty acid into molecular hydrogen, up to 10 liters to 12 liters in volume every day. And this will actually help to regulate our oxidation, especially the what they call the free radical attack inside the body. Now, to make it simple for you to understand further, this hydrogen are basically acting as a bundle of this bodyguard, preparing to be able to fight against all the attack by the invasion of the pathogen, viruses, bacteria, especially the free radical. Because there are many types of unknown. It can be viruses, it can be bacteria, it can be a parasite, it can be the free radical, even this cell. It can be neutralized when we have abundance of this hydrogen inside the body. Okay, so when we are able to balance out the oxidation between the oxidation and the reduction. This is called homeostasis. Okay, prior to this called dysbiosis, means our body are not function normally, especially under large intestine. If we are able to balance out between the production of the oxidation and reduction, it is called homeostasis, right? And again, now once we know about hydrogen, the next thing actually, since we claim that hydrogen can only last about 30 minutes as a gas, how can we retain this through a new technology? And this technology is called solid hydrogen. It is really the hydrogen in the solid form, which can be found only once and for now is one and available in Malaysia, produced and invented by this Uncle Simon. Uncle Simon has been researching about health, okay, starting from antioxidant to negative ion, eventually into solid hydrogen. I've been collaborating and working with him for the last 22 years. In fact, not only personally I'm benefited from this solid hydrogen, even my own child, my own daughter, approaching to 17-year-old, has been drinking this solid hydrogen since the baby time. In fact, I have a lot of students who gave birth to their baby, they also be consuming solid hydrogen. Why? Because it's abundantly available in the form of hydrogen to be able to neutralize all the toxin in the body. Now, we named this product called H2 Magic, but I want to focus on solid hydrogen. What's so unique about it? It is actually special treated nano-alkali. They mean all this iron, mineral, they are alkaline, but they be ionized through a very sophisticated technology. If you want to even go further, right, you just have to understand how electrolyte, how electrolysis water work. Which I'm referring to the alkali water machine. Alkali water machine basically is just like having the mineral content in the water, which one is actually the mineral, one is the alkali substance, the other one is acidic substance, to be broken up into two channels. And for the human being, we need to drink a lot of alkaline ion minerals. And of course, in the solid hydrogen, it has very high content of zinc and sodium. Now again, don't be misled by sodium will cause hypertension. Okay, this is a different kind of sodium whereby they make to be alkaline and there are nanotechnology available. So they can actually go into repetition of vacuum and repetition of high heat and low heat of kind of burning. Okay, it's something like electrolyte. Eventually, it can withstand a hot and cold environment. And the temperature can go as low as -20 Celsius up to 100 Celsius. Meaning to say, I can drop the drip in any liquid form. It can be in the cold form, it can be in the hot water or hot liquid. Now, in fact, if you ever experience that bottle, for people who experienced before, you can place it into the freezer, not refrigerator, freezer. Freezer at negative, as long as lower than -26 Celsius, it is still able to retain its liquid form. It never gets frozen in the solid form. Okay, it's basically just function like a cell. That means to say it carry positive and negative charge. Negative charge, we call it ion, and able to always go into the body and start maintaining the balance, which I name it as a homeostasis. And mostly, of course, as a human being, we eat a lot of bad stuff. We inhale a lot of bad oxygen. We're invaded by a lot of dioxin through the inhalation. We have a lot of free Wi-Fi, 4G, or even the 5G that actually penetrate and make our cell to become unhealthy, keep on producing a lot of free radical. So this free radical, all it needs to do just have to combine with the solid hydrogen in the hydrogen form. Like I say, solid hydrogen are slightly different from the gas phase because the gas itself had to be vaporized when they are in the gas form, whereas solid hydrogen are burned to be able to dissolve inside the hydrogen. And it doesn't do anything only until they get attacked by the free radical. You get yourself activated. It's just like they are like a standby bodyguard waiting to be able to protect the body cell as well as the organ. When there's the attack of free radical, they'll start contributing their antioxidant cell, or which is actually in the ion, especially in the mineral ion, to be able to neutralize the free radical. Okay, and at the end of the day, the byproduct is called water. And furthermore, all this excess of this water eventually can be passed out through the elimination system. It can be through the skin, it can be through breathing, urination, pass motion, and so forth. It just released as a discharge. So solid hydrogen, to make it simple for your clear understanding, it was meant to design to be your internal body cleanser. Now, everybody knows that, okay, if my shirt were to be dirty, I need to clean it with my soap or probably with my detergent. And of course, in order to clean it, we need a lot of water. So what this solid hydrogen does, it is actually meant to be like your internal body detergent cleanser. You just have to mix with a lot of water, consume it, it will help to cleanse and eliminate. It's like cleanse your body by removing all the waste, the toxin, the free radical from the body. So what can it dissolve? It can actually detox your water, the detox of water, the toxin of your food, the toxin of your blood. Okay, it can actually improve your constitution and you reduce acidosis. Okay, the next round I will explain to you what acidosis is all about. It's actually the acidic substance that cannot be eliminated in time. They have to be kept inside the body. For example, like your body fat, high blood pressure, hypertension, or even your blood sugar. These are basically can be considered as acidosis. So overall, it just improves your immunity, okay, and also improve your heart as well as your lung function and so forth. Of course, the most important, it can have the ability to prevent cancer. Okay, of course, we are not here to make this claim, but we do have some of the incidents or testimonial I'm going to share with you at a later part. Now, we believe that our best doctor is our own immunity. So how do you boost your immunity? It's actually by eliminating or reducing the free radical pathogen or the unnecessarily garbage inside the body. And this is where I will urge everybody must maintain your body by getting more in depth, knowing what free radical is all about, and study more about antioxidant. Now, here I'm going to share with you a demonstration. Okay, but of course, this demonstration are elaborated in Mandarin. I'm going to explain to you as I go along with it by elaborating what is this experiment is all about. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay. Okay. here we have prepared two glasses of water, and this water are representing our blood and water inside our body. And please note, I want you to listen very carefully. The next event when I discuss, I'll be discussing about the relationship between the health, the longevity with the blood. And here I just want to elaborate, every single drop of the blood comprises of 90% water content. Okay, so we prepared 2 glasses of water, and this water are representing our blood and water. Okay. Okay, here you see there are 2 testers. One actually is our own product called pH2 Magic. pH2 Magic, there is an internal cleanser, where the other product is actually from the America. One of the very established and popular brand called is actually alkali concentrator, alkali concentrator, namely Brain X. Okay, so you will see on beside the Brain X is actually a betadine. These are basically a betadine, just like a chlorine, meant to kill the bacteria for the external wound. Oh, sorry. My apology. Okay, so you see this is citric acid. Citric acid is an indication. Imagine that when there's a food going to our stomach, you trigger the stomach acid. So the citric acid will be emulating as a stomach acid, okay, for demonstration purposes. Okay, we are starting our experiment. So we are putting the betadine inside as an indication. These are oxidized blood. Okay. Okay, we're going to stir them and going to mix them together. So evenly do these 2 glasses of the oxidized water. They are basically representing the acidic water. Now, one side we're going to start testing with the alkalized concentrator, and you see that that acidic substance has been neutralized. Okay, and we also going to demonstrate with our pH2 Magic and see how this internal cleanser works. We only put in 1 drop. Please note now, we only put in 1 drop. So same thing, it will actually help to neutralize the acidosis or the acidic substance inside the blood. So it makes our blood to be clean. But unfortunately, imagine if I were to have my food or drinks to be neutralized, and the moment you go to the stomach and it triggers the stomach acid release, and see what happened. The glass that with the alkali concentrator, you start to restore because it's actually restoring. Whereas you look at our solid hydrogen, nothing happen because it has been permanently neutralized. And what we're going to do is actually we're going to pour the one from the pH2 into the Brain X. Okay, and you see that it also instantly got neutralized. Okay, not only it can neutralize the toxin, okay, it can also help to be able to neutralize all the free radical, the waste, anything that's not meant to be there will be neutralized through our solid hydrogen. So it actually will help to restore, okay, restore and go back to homeostasis. Okay, imagine all kind of food that you eat, are they being thoroughly absorbed? If you really want to make sure that you're healthy, you have to make sure all the intakes of your food, drinks that you drank, taken, it must be neutralized prior to that. So this is actually a very simple demonstration to illustrate, okay, how powerful the solid hydrogen is all about. Like I said, it is not gas-based. So it will be permanently inside your water. If they're properly been taken care of, it can last minimum 3 days, even lasts to 2 days. Now, this is one of our typical kids. They have drunk a lot of hydrogen. That means the parents themselves, they have challenges with conceive to have babies. But eventually, after I reset their body, I encourage them to take a lot of H2. Okay, also with other substances, especially like probiotics. Eventually, they give birth to a very healthy baby. And please note, this baby has not met a doctor at all. That means even the father, gave birth this baby at home. You can see the placenta the umbilical cord is still attached to the baby, and it only dropped after 4 days. After 47 days, he actually started to be able to lift up his head on his own. Okay, it's to indicate the cleaner the blood, the stronger the bone, they are able to have a more mobile function. Okay. Now, the next one, I'm going to share with you about this gentleman. Okay, unfortunately, because he actually elaborated in Mandarin, I'm going to illustrate to you in, I'm going to translate into English. Now, I just want to introduce this gentleman. His name is Mr. Tong. He was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer. And then he come to the stage whereby he had challenges. He had challenges to have urination. And it's actually called CRP, which actually the inflammation index is actually super high. So what he did is actually we encourage him to drink high dosage of H2, the solid hydrogen, and let him explain to you what really happened. I'll elaborate as I go along.
Hello, Mr. Dong， 你好，我是 Simon 老师啊。那么很高兴今天能够与你见面。那么听说你最近吃了我们的产品，对你的健康改善了很多。那么你在吃我们这个 PH2 Magic 之前，你有很严重的前列腺的问题，导致你连小便都没有办法正常的小便，必须要插管，然后就是放个当机才能够正常的排尿。那么今天我希望 Mr. Dong 能够详细的来告诉大家，你吃了我们的 PH2 产品过后，你的健康的改善。Mr. Dong， 请。
好，现在我跟大家分享一下啊，其次我的身体里面我去验了这个血报告出来，曾经我就是忽然间不能够小便，要用这个纯那个拜，刚才三位老师讲真的，后来我去验一下说你很糟糕了，你连你的发炎指数是 HS。
Okay, so this is Mr. Tong. He actually from southern part of Selangor. Okay, one fine day he couldn't urinate, and then he find to have difficulty in urinating. So eventually he went to the doctor. Doctor said you're having a severe problem. In fact, the HSCRP. HSCRP means actually they are assessing onto his inflammation at the liver level as well as the heart level, and it's go as high as 103.5. And standard is actually less than 1. But again, his indication was severe. Eventually, he was prescribed with the chemo medicine. The medicine, the cost of the medicine one day is 200 ringgit. Imagine 30 days will cost him 6,000 ringgit. So he's actually shared with you how it was addressed by using the H2. Okay, let him elaborate.
CRP 就跑到103点，正常的是3分罢了，所以没有办法，我也是尽量开始这样，每天早上起来有120点撒那个CA Plus 也是叫撒士多。
Okay, so what he did actually when he knew about this, he actually started drinking H2 Magic with 1 glasses of water with 20 drops. Plus another 10 shake of calcium plus. Calcium plus is actually called ionized calcium, which is actually not ordinary calcium. And this technology originated from Japan, but we improvise it to embed with this hydrogen. So he drank it on daily basis.
就一直喝了1个月后，然后再去验血，他血有进步2。
Okay, after 1 month, he went for the blood check again, the HSCRP. He only dropped by 2 points. That means from 103, it dropped to 101.
点罢了，101。后来也是继续再吃，第3个月又再去验血，忽然间跌到你不相信的1.7。
Hello, Mr. Dong， 你好。
So 3 months later, he went to the blood check again. Okay, and then eventually, with amazement, he discovered that his CRP actually dropped from 101 to 1.7.
办法，我也是较少相信的1.7，然后我小便呢，跟你讲，你真的是个很神奇啊。
So he said it's miracle that he was able to urinate on his own ever since then, because his inflammation had dropped to 1.7.
本来是好像小便就沿着地，好像水头没有来这样的。
Okay, last time it's only dripping. He cannot have a proper urination. It only dripping drop by drop. Okay, only 1 or 2 drop at one time.
忽然间小便好像有拜，好像有按了一个棒这样输出去，这晚上。
Now he can urinate like normal. He can just like ordinary pipe water.
前列腺来的时候，你会知道的。那小便呢，晚上要小的好多次。 变成现在只是一次，最多是2次。
Okay. Oh, sorry. When he had the prostate issue, right? He used to urinate many times over the night during the sleeping quality. Okay. But now.
现在也是进步的相当好。
Okay, but now he can urinate like normal, only wake up 1 or 2
证
times.
据嘛，在这个hospital specialist 验出来了嘛。第二呢，就是我这个前列腺也是进步的相当好，老师跟你讲，所以我其实也是再次，因为这个 pH 真的是一个很神奇的，你很难跟你解释。还有我朋友见到我那个3个月前还没有吃这个 pH 的，看到我的脸型，他。
Okay, this is what he was 3 months before, and this is what he is after 3 months later.
后来3、4个月又见到我，他以为我还在不在，看到我的脸神变到又年轻又好看，现在我开始介绍好。
Okay, so he just want to elaborate. After 3 months later, people thought that he's no longer there because imagine that he was suffering from stage 4 prostate cancer. So people just had hardly believe that he's actually still around. He looked younger. He's look more vibrant and more energetic. Okay, so this is actually my relative. Another example to be showcased. My relative actually having challenge with the throat cancer at stage 3. He came to me for help. So I actually went to diagnose him and discovered that there are several things that to be improved. So I told him that I would just recommend him to go for natural approach. But because with his perseverance and determination, not only he go for natural way of remedy, he also went for radiotherapy. Okay, because he want to expedite the whole recovery process. I said, you make a choice because I cannot influence you. But true enough, with his perseverance, with his determination, with his what they call support, okay, the supportive of this natural approach, he went for a lot of high dosage of H2 probiotics and even inhaled hydrogen gas. He recovered very, very fast. In fact, his daughter called me up and claimed that he's actually recovered. That's the date that he called me was on the 13th December. But I told him you can't make the claim by your own. It has to be certified or endorsed by the oncologist. So by the 13th of January 2020, okay, sorry, this is 2020, he was officially announced to be recovered, okay, and normal. And okay, you can compare the time when he was on the 13th December 2021. Look at his body, look at his the skin, and compare after 1 month later, he was a total changed person. Okay, on top of that, H2 wasn't just here for a short period of time. It had been around for many years. Okay, one time my student actually brought this into ML companies and did a very comprehensive test, more than thousands, and divided into 3 different groups. And I actually asked him to compile me this, what they call this testimonial. Eventually, from the listing from 1 to 14, anything come to the severity of the gastric, skin problem, constipation, sugar drops, blood sugar drops, back pain, even on the dog knee, okay, with tumor, they are able to actually subside. Okay, energy increase. You talk about body weight management, migraine, asthma, menstrual issue, and so forth. All this can be addressed. Like I say, we are not emphasizing on the diseases, the name of the sickness. We're emphasizing of your inflammation and your oxidative stress. Namely, to make it simpler, remove the free radical. As time goes by, as you persevere, you can actually refer to the testimonial that we have this confidence that it can be addressed a lot of issue. Even come to COVID-19, or even not only the COVID-19, any diseases, okay, that we experience, we are able to actually have the confidence that with the right approach or right protocol, you do it right, you're able to restore your health. Okay, so having that said, on the coming event on the 15th, which is actually on the next Monday, the topic that I'll be covering will be on the health, called the health and longevity begin with our blood. Of course, for the English session will be conducted on the 22nd, the Chinese session will be conducted on the 15th. So as for now, I will share adequately about hydrogen 101 and solid hydrogen. So if anything that you have doubt or any question you have, you will move on to the next session. For now, thank you very much for your attending, and I'd like to pass the mic back to Jeffrey. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So our Q&A session will start in 1 minute time. So if you guys have any question during the talk just now, or if you guys have any question to hydrogen or solid hydrogen, you guys can open up your mic or even type it in the chat box and ask SK. All right, so let our Q&A session begin.
Okay, you are welcome to propose any question in the chat box, or you can open the mic. You can even open your video so that we can interact. I mean, the more questions you ask, the more doubt you have, the more challenges you have experiences, and you need to seek for seek for solution or remedy. I'm more than willing to actually share. But in the event, if there are some of the challenges or questions that I cannot answer, I'll definitely look for the answer and get back to you. Okay, let's have the questions begin. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to type in the chat box. Any area or any part of the slides or elaboration that's not clear, you are most welcome to ask. Anyone? Any questions? Anyone with health challenges, with doubts, with question regards to the free radical, antioxidant, anything pertaining to health challenges, you are most welcome to ask. If anything that I share are not adequately to meet up your expectation, do ask again. No one? Okay, sorry, let me check. You have a benign tumor on my neck near throat for about 13 years. Can H2 help at your throat? Okay, first of all, how big is your tumor? Your tumor, how big is that? And can it help? Well, obviously it can, provided that you consistently remove your toxin from the body. Okay, I will just call you. It's like understand tumor is just like what I name it as acidosis. Okay, when your body are not able to actually release all this or relinquish all this waste from the body in time, they are temporarily trapped as a object. We call acidosis. It's actually an acidic substance that cannot be removed out. Eventually, they have to be kept inside the body for a period of time. It just unfortunately, you have been kept there inside there for 13 years. Can they be eliminated? The answer is yes. Okay, I would strongly urge you, if you can, of course, not only you actually focusing on drinking a lot of H2, you might want to think about drinking a lot of calcium plus. Even the fundamental is that talk about detox, doing cleansing of your liver, your large intestine, and your kidney, right? That will help to expedite the reduction of your tumor in your body. Okay. May I know if you have Miss Ng or YK, right? Where are you from? If you're located nearby, likelihood on the next week we'll be making an announcement. We'll be providing some services to do a health scan using quantum machine. This quantum machine will just take you about a minute of time for us to do some finding about your health challenges. If it's a scan, it can be arranged. We'll keep it posted. What I would suggest you to do is that refer back to your introducer who introduced you. Once we make the announcement, we'll make announcement to alert you when can you come and drop by and visit us for the scanning. It won't take long, but at least the objective is to understand the root cause of your issue. Now, what do you mean by root cause? Root cause is to understand how acidic your blood can be. Are you having adequate water, adequate oxygen? We call it hypoxia. Even to identify if you have any challenges with your liver, your large intestine, your kidney, and so forth. It gives us an overall diagnosis, okay, knowing what your health challenges is all about. Okay, to us, we do have the confidence everything can be addressed as long as you have the adequate knowledge with action. You need the action. And of course, the action doesn't mean that you just take one bottle with 10 drops, then it will solve your problem. You have to go with high dosage. For example, I give an example like Mr. Tong. Mr. Tong started with 1 glass with 20 drops because initially there will be some discomfort established inside the body. And we do not want it to become a phobia. Eventually, he started to increase the dosage by consuming 1 bottle. That 1 bottle is 500 drops. Imagine if you go for 5 drops a day, it will last you for 50 days, approaching to 2 months. But for people who have severe health challenges, you need to go with high dosage. For example, like some people who have like COVID-19, I'll ask them to take as high as 100 drops per day, just to minimize the attack of the C19, is to boost up your immunity. So it varies from individual. The protocol also varies from individual, dependent on what we can identify in your health challenges. Okay, it can help. Okay, but I cannot guarantee. Like I say, first thing first, I want to make a disclaimer where we are health educator, we are not a doctor. We cannot represent the doctor or the authority to replace what they do. You still have to get to be certified and endorsed by them eventually. We are providing the natural approach to help you to restore your health as much as we can. But eventually, you must also understand whatever experiences that you are experimenting, you need to get prepared to deal with the discomfort. It's the same like if I have a wall filled with a lot of stain, I need to scratch it out. Imagine if this wall have feeling, have the nerve system, they will complain to you, it's a bit painful, but it's only for short term. It's only for temporary. Okay, this discomfort is called temporary discomfort. It's not permanent. Okay, it will not able to make you suffer for life. It's only for temporary because you need to reset your body to replace your old cell with the new cell. Temporary, you might experience some discomfort. Okay, we call this machine QRMA. Okay, it's a very simple machine and yet powerful enough for me to understand your entire overall health diagnosis. Okay, I hope that answered your question. Please refer to your introducer, okay, so that we will alert you with the contact and the schedule. It will be on weekly affair. Please note, if everything on schedule, right, it will be on weekly affair only once per week during the weekday. Okay, and sorry, we cannot compromise your schedule because this is actually the time whereby my helper able to be make available to help you to do some diagnosis. Okay, it's a very simple, only 90-second diagnosis to understand from the head to the toes, to understand what are the health challenges that you're experiencing. Okay, any more? Anyone with some doubts, questions, or anything pertaining to health that you seek for elaboration, do not hesitate to ask in this forum. Okay, this is a time that we learn together. Anyone with any doubts, any question, any challenges? Like I say, I like to elaborate to make it as simple as possible. All the name that you heard of in disease name are all known to be just a free radical attack. Okay, bye-bye, Nancy. Well, thank you for being here. Anyone, any other audience that you have doubts that you would like to share? No, it doesn't have to be just H2. Anything pertaining to health that you need elaboration, you need advisors, please do not hesitate to ask.
SK.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
Florence.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, I would like to ask you the question here. I noticed that especially men, why is it that especially when they are towards the middle age and above, they have those big belly? What is the cause of it?
The big belly is because your liver getting weakened.
Liver.
Because, okay, liver. Yes, liver. Liver. Okay, not only applying to men, even some of the ladies, they also have started to have bigger belly. Okay, the primary reason, there are three. Like I say, there are three. Technically, they used to be three. Now they announce it to be four. There are three organs that are accumulated with most of the toxin, like your feces in your large intestine, your kidney, as well as your liver. Now, last time people are slim, merely because they are able to have the liver to clear the toxin from the blood that passes through. Okay. Unfortunately, the food intake, the water that we drink, no longer water. They might not be ordinary water, but in fact, they fill with a lot of flavor. It can be like bubble tea, it can be Coca-Cola, it can be high content of sugar for their tea and coffee. And these are contribution to turn all this sugar into what they call fat. So eventually, liver like to recycle. Please understand, the food intake are mainly because of carbohydrate or any food. They are not able to actually get wasted. They will be turned into a fat. But bear in mind, okay, I go back to fundamental. Everyone needs sugar, but in the form of glucose. But when we have excess of sugar, body doesn't like to waste it. So what the liver will do is to turn into this sugar into fat. But eventually, the fat cannot be accumulated too much inside the liver. They'll be distributed and store it somewhere else, primarily at the waistline, especially the belly. Okay, so if you look at middle-aged people start to accumulate the fat around the belly, purely because of the wrong diet. You follow me?
Yeah.
Wrong diet is a key issue. Okay, you see, very simple reason. We might be eating a lot of carbohydrate. You see, the worst carbohydrate I always share with people is noodles. Okay, brown rice, then white rice. White rice is also acidic, but white rice is not as bad as compared to mee hoon, noodles, kway teow, anything that been processed to turn into a different form. For people who have high blood sugar, I always encourage them, please go for brown rice. Go for the whole rice, especially basmati rice. Basmati rice is actually very safe. No matter how much you consume, they will never have an opportunity to turn them into a sugar. Can you follow me, Foreign?
Yeah.
So that's why it's a diet. Okay, it's a correct diet. Second reason why belly is getting bigger and bigger. Please understand, today's a lot of food recipe, especially the cooking oil. The oil nowadays are no longer an ordinary oil because they've been injected with hydrogen, a different kind of hydrogen. That's why we call it trans fat. These trans fat are killing all the property of the DNA of the food and turn them into a different thing. That's why look at Malaysia. We are ranked #1, the fattest country in Asia. And yet you see all these fat people have high risk of blood sugar. And there's a reason why we also been just announced recently, very recently, we are now ranked #4, the highest CKD, chronic kidney disease. Right? So these are all primary factors because of the wrong diet. Wrong diet in terms of food, wrong drinking because we don't drink a lot of water. Even if we drink water, we drank the wrong water. For example, please abstain yourself from drinking our water and distilled water. They are used for different purposes. They are not meant for human consumption. They are meant for manufacturing production, okay, or other specific reason. Or else never drink our water and distilled water. You need to drink water with a lot of mineral, a lot of antioxidant, a lot of energy, and so forth. Okay, so there's so much to be learned for one to be able to become healthy. Okay, there's a reason why I downloaded SEED. What time to sleep, what time to eat, how to eat, what kind of exercise you must do to move your body in order to eliminate the joint pain, right? Drink what kind of water, even supplement together with the structure support.
Okay. So another question is, SK, you mentioned about the chicken egg and duck egg, right?
Right.
Chicken egg is acidic and then the duck egg is alkaline.
Yes, correct.
So how is it tested? Do we use the litmus paper to test it?
You have to burn the food. You have to. It's a different kind of testing. You don't test the litmus paper can only be tested with upon the food are being burned. Okay, you must understand now how do you move a car? Yes, you inject the petroleum inside the car, but the petroleum must be mixed with the oxygen. 1 liter of petroleum must be mixed with 10,000 liters of oxygen to be joined together and burn, and become combust. Combust means that it's an explosion. Then only you move your car along. Now, food, same thing. How you determine the food is only upon you burn the food. Why? Why so? Because all food you eat, put through your mouth, you have to chew your food 30 times. Swallow through your esophagus, go to your stomach will digest it. The meaning of digestion is that they have to turn into an energy form. And it's also in through burning. When this burning is become ashes, then only you test whether this particular food is actually alkaline food or acidic food. Now, in the science lab, you put a Perry dish. They actually use and burn the food into ashes, then they put into Perry dish, mix with the distilled water, then only use a litmus paper to test whether the acidic content or alkaline content.
I see. Okay.
Right? Not that, oh, a lot of people will have this misconception. They say, oh, I want to test my carrot whether it's acidic alkaline. So what they do is they go and blend the juice from the carrot juice and then start testing immediately with litmus paper. It wasn't work that way. You need to burn. You need to burn the food to turn into ashes. The ashes mixed with the distilled water, then only to be tested by the litmus paper to deter whether they are alkaline or acidic. I hope this makes it clear for everybody knowledge.
So
okay?
I presume that means to say all this has been tested already, right?
Yes, for sure.
For sure. Egg and a duck egg. Okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. They have been tested by the authority, people who want to know what's the function of the food and so forth. For example, I give an example. instead of you were to test it out, you can just check with all this authority, the scientists and so forth. For example, particularly for food, what kind of food must you take? You must always refer to the scientist, not the medical expert. Medical experts are done by the pharmaceutical. So they can be biased, they cannot be genuine. I would prefer to refer to scientists. Okay. Then, for example, if you want to check if your food are filled with high content of alkali food or antioxidant, you refer to this called ORAC. ORAC. It's a short form for one whole sentence. Oxidation. If it's called oxidation redundant, oxygen redundant. I can't remember the full name. My apology. Go and check out ORAC. You just have to say ORAC for food. You will find that a lot of food, for example, like moringa, turmeric, ginger, they have high content of ORAC versus compared to others like pumpkin. Pumpkin is not a very good antioxidant, but it's a very good potassium, fiber, and so forth. So different food have different function. But you're specifically looking for antioxidant, then you must consume, like just like I mentioned earlier, right? Turmeric, ginger, then even the what do you call this cucumber, they have high content of turmeric. High content of ORAC. All right.
Right. Thanks.
Florence.
Yeah.
Okay. People who want to know about what's the difference between duck egg and chicken egg, you can refer your research. They'll give you very clear information regards to why must you consume more duck egg than the chicken egg. Look at Penang people, chao kway teow. They offer you two options, either the duck egg or the chicken egg. You ask them what tastes better. It's always the duck egg because it's alkaline, high nutrient content, and penetration of the bacteria is lower compared to the chicken egg because the duck egg, the shell is harder. So for the bacteria to penetrate through the shell is actually very challenging. Moreover, the egg itself content, right, with very minimal water as compared to the chicken. Chicken can easily cultivate a lot of bacteria compared to duck egg. Okay.
But it's a matter of to acquire the taste. It takes some time to acquire the taste of the duck egg.
Okay. Be very frank to you, duck egg tastes the same as chicken egg. It is how they are being fed. What kind of nutrient are you feeding to the duck egg? Okay. Imagine if, let's say, both chicken and the duck, right, are being fed with human feed. Human feed, that means human edible feed, right? They are shit tasteless. That means you can't compare, hey, this duck egg is actually smelly and compare, because it's actually about what kind of food do they eat. Okay, I used to have a friend, which I know for years. They operate a duck farm in Kampar. And then imagine, he actually read about 20,000 duck, just like ordinary duck farmer. Okay, but other farmer, when they feed their daily feed, it's about 600 ringgit. He fed his duck 3,000 a day. But you ask them what are they feeding? He feed with enzyme, with a lot of fresh vegetable, with a lot of spirulina and so forth. That's why his duck quality is outstanding as compared to others. And most of the buyers who can afford to buy his duck egg are basically from Singapore, not from the local Malaysia. Okay, only some of the what they call prominent noodles, who require duck egg only acquire from them because it gives very high quality of the noodles. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep, welcome. Okay, just asking about, is cancer patients still need to take care of the food? Of course. I already told everybody the food, now a lot of food are contaminated. A lot of food, which I call it tin kosong. You must know what kind of food that you need to consume. Not only the food, even the water, even the resting, even the what they call mobility in terms of your movement. These are always have to be put into consideration. If it's just dependent on H2 alone, be a miracle, what they call tonic to address your health issue, it becomes very challenging. It's always about input, process, and output. Here, I'm giving you a lot of H2 to be able to neutralize the free radical. But on the other hand, you keep on taking McDonald's, KFC, a lot of unhealthy stuff. Now, let me give you a scenario. I met a gentleman. He's an authority, Malaysian. He's a Malaysian Malay. He's an authority who wants to promote CBD and THC. If you want to know what it is all about, it's cannabis medicine. Cannabis, marijuana, okay, as a replacement. It's actually in the medical form, CBD and THC. I've been researching and promoting CBD and THC unofficially for the last few years. Okay, I researched. By chance, I met with this guy. His name is Jay. Okay, he's a Malay gentleman with Jay. Why is he so enthusiastically actually promoting CBD and THC? Because of his son. His son at that time was 10-year-old, diagnosed with a very rare cancer disease located at the feet. Very rare. In the world, there are only two children that had it. One is a Malaysian 10-year-old child, his son. The second one was a 14-year-old girl in India, right? And then doctor couldn't do anything because it's a very rare disease, very rare cancer. So alternatively, he keep researching, asking answers from all over the world. So people have been pestering and encourage him, go for CBD and THC. So they send him all this, what they call the ointment for him to consume. 10 months later, he recovered. Okay, please listen carefully. 10 months later, he recovered. He's okay. Then doctor identified, oh, your cancer cells are not within the detectable range. Listen to the choice of word I'm using. Your cancer cells are no longer in the detectable range. Therefore, you're free to release from the hospital. You can be discharged. So when he went out as a 10-year-old boy, 10-year-old for 10 months had not been consuming the favorite food that he had. So he walled up KFC, he walled up chips. It can be Lay's, it can be Twisty, whatever you name it in the market. All the unhealthy stuff. I call it KFC, Pizza Hut, McDonald's, anything you name it, Coca-Cola. Okay, 2 weeks later, the cancer relapsed and he passed away. Now, please share with me. Do you think you have to take care of your food intake? Do you have to take care of your water intake? Do you have to take care of your mental health? Do you have to take care of everything? H2 is not a magic pill, not a magic tablet, not a magic water. It is just a solution to be able to add very high content of this antioxidant, like give you abundance of bodyguard to address on your free radical attack. If you ask me how powerful it is, we can demonstrate to you. One drop of H2 can neutralize just now the betadine up to 60 drops. If you were to go for ordinary hydrogen water, they tell you this is my hydrogen water. You please go and test the betadine with the hydrogen water and see how many drops of this betadine can be dissolved or resolved by X number of the hydrogen water. Okay, I have tested with the more expensive water machine in the world, more expensive. Okay, even 1 liter of the water can only neutralize about 8 drops of betadine. Imagine our H2 Magic can dissolve 60 drops. So I'm not saying that it works as a miracle. It's just that the technology are very superior, help you to expedite of discharging all the toxin from your body. But at the same time, you have to take care of your health. You must eat right, you must sleep right, and so forth. You cannot assume that, hey, I got H2 Magic, I can wall up anything I want. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Especially when your body are filled with a lot of mammalian cell. Mammalian cell, another term to it is a lot of cancer cell. But are they death sentences? No, they are not. It's all coming back to how you take care of your body. Okay, your mental power is more important than anything else. Okay. Okay, Jess, welcome. Anyone? Anyone that would like to ask, please don't hesitate. You have any challenges, you have any doubt, this is a good time to ask because we only meet about once a fortnight. We still have about 26% here. And if you do have any questions, any doubt, please don't hesitate to ask. Feel free to ask any question, any challenges that you're experiencing that need advisors or help, please let me know.
SK.
Hi.
Just now, I saw the list of the health benefits about this the PH2.
Yeah.
So one of them is for the, I think if I'm not mistaken, is for a pet or I don't know, a dog or whatever. So I'm thinking now then I can actually give it to my dog to drink, right?
Of course, of course. Yeah. It's meant for living thing. Okay. I mean, this is a real incident that occurred to my family members. 2020, I went back to Cebu to have a celebration of Chinese New Year with my mother-in-law. because my wife's actually from Cebu. Okay, full family members. Family members from all over the places, from New Zealand, from Australia, from Singapore, and so forth. We met together. So I gave them each of them a bottle of this H2. Okay, and then coincidentally, some of my family members, they really love H2. But one incident, when they went back to New Zealand, one of my brother-in-law who loved farming at home, he did a lot of farming at home. He also reared a lot of chicken. They call it hybrid chicken. Primary objective is to lay egg, not to kill the chicken, but to lay egg. But of course, they are approaching to old age, nearly to the end of life. And then therefore, because of aging, so they have no choice but to bring the chicken to meet where the web. Okay, please remember, he reared 6 hybrid chicken, 2 passed away. 2 passed away, left with 4. And then he had no choice but to send this chicken to go to the vet and see how to prolong the lifespan. And each chicken cost him 200 New Zealand dollar. One visit, each chicken is 200. So 4 chicken is 800. So after consuming all the stuff, he still had 2 chicken died. 2 chicken died. That means total of 4 chicken gone, left with 2. So he had no choice. He decided not to go, but he experienced the good thing about H2. So what he did, he actually drip the H2 through the throat to the chicken, and the chicken shouted. So he asked me, how come like that? I said, why don't you experiment dripping the drop inside your throat and see what happens? You'll be suffering pain. You're supposed to mix with water. Okay, mix with water. So he did. He mixed with some water for the chicken to drink, and the chicken lived until today. That was year 2020 until today. The chicken still live. I want to share this experience that H2 doesn't just work on human being. It works on any living objects.
Yeah, I know, because the last time actually you recommended me to take the probiotics, but the probiotics is rather expensive. Yeah, so
yes,
I
of course.
want to try on the PH2. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Please bear in mind. Eventually, please understand, H2 is actually a good product. H2 can mainly resolve a lot of health challenges, but I will still encourage you, while you are replenishing yourself, the body with H2, at the same time, you have to help your large intestine to restore back to origin by replenishing a lot of friendly bacteria into your large intestine. Let the large intestine eventually produces 10 liters to 12 liters of hydrogen. I want to make it very clear. It all depends on your circumstances and your objective. If you want to immediately remove your toxin, talk about resetting, of course, good to have H2, but best is to have combination if you can.
Thank you.
Okay, after drinking 1 year, feel healthy, you make a choice, like I say, for maintenance, at least 5 drops a day. Okay, for you to prevent COVID-19, our recommendation is 20 drops per day. Per day, it means 24 hours, you drink about 20 drops. For maintenance, 5 drops will be adequate. Okay, you don't need a lot of drops. But typically what I do is actually, when I meet any drinks outside, it can be coffee, it can be tea, it can be other drink. I don't drink soft drink, I don't drink cold drink. I will just drip H2 at least 1 drop to neutralize all the toxin inside the water. Because you must understand, majority of the water supply from the shop, they don't go through proper filtration. It will be filled with a lot of heavy metal, a lot of residue, a lot of bacteria. You never know. Even you ask me, Coke also, they are not that safe. It's good to drop. Even when you're having your noodles, like soup noodles, drop at least 1 drop to neutralize the toxin inside the bowl, in your food and so forth. Okay, it is safe to do so because you do not want to contaminate your body. Okay, with all the food intake while you're taking care of your body. Here you are feeding in with a lot more poison to your body. You need to neutralize them as much as you can. Okay. Okay, so can you reduce or stop? Frankly, there's no way you can stop. Very frankly, if you were to stop, you can experiment and see what happens 2 weeks later. I actually urge you, please experiment all this with your personal experience. There's no way you can stop unless you have alternative or you have replacement. Replacement as to like, oh, my body can generate about 10 liters, 12 liters of hydrogen, then it's okay. You don't have to take H2. But I would believe that in this world, especially Malaysia, with surrounded contaminants, electropollutant, okay, food intake, you're not eating organic food, you're not cooking, you're not planting and cooking on your own. You're taking the wrong oil. So no way. I don't think we can stop not to take supplement. In fact, it becomes mandatory that you must take to a certain degree, you must take supplement. Okay. Of course, H2 might not be the only choice. You can think of others. All right.
Can we then safely say that, okay, you mentioned the water is very essential to us, right?
Yes, it is.
Water is very is the top priority to flush out
Yes.
the toxins whatsoever. Then plus
Right.
the pH2 and the probiotics. So
Yep.
these are the basic. We don't actually need to consume other supplements, so to speak, like
Okay.
selenium, coenzyme whatsoever.
Okay, please understand. If you're deficient in selenium, you can't get it from water unless you have a water source that supply you a lot of selenium. It's different thing. And then selenium you can take from egg. You see, it's about balance. I can't advise you, but I can only share with you this. The fundamental most important element that required by the body is always air, oxygen, and water. And most of the time, water, if you were to get the water from the virgin mountain, virgin hillside, or virgin island, then adequately you'll be supplied with all the necessary nutrients that are appreciated by the body. It can be vitamin, it can be mineral, it can be trace mineral, and so forth. But there's no guarantee. Okay. But what I can assure you that if you were to drink adequate water with inhaling good oxygen to your body, 80% of the diseases can be addressed. 80%. It can. Okay. But again, I also want to urge you to understand this. Japanese, they did a what they call a research. They do a comparison. Now imagine this, two group of monks. Okay, one group of monks are being fed with 100% food, 100% full. That means they eat 100% full with 100% nutrients, versus the other group, 50% full and 50% with nutrients value. Make a wild guess. Which group actually live longer? Florence or anyone? Two groups. One group with 100% full, eating full, and 100% nutrients. The other group is 50% full and 50% nutrients. Group A and Group B. Which group live longer? Obviously, Group B live longer. Why? Because body is not about your deficiency. It's about your desire to live. It's important that you don't overload yourself with too many good stuff. Sometimes it become what? You become lethargic, you become lazy. Yes, you have feeling with a lot of energy, but you are loading yourself with a lot more free radical. You're burning more sometimes. So sometimes deficiency can mean for good, provided that you do a lot of breathing and drinking a lot of water. Now, I give you an example. There's a different kind of yogis. They are called nothing else but breatharian. That means to say they just go to the hillside where environment is actually conducive, air is clean, a lot of humid, a lot of energy. They just inhale the oxygen, turn into food, turn into energy. Because at the end of the day, it's about what kind of food supply, what kind of energy for the body needs, right? We can be deficient in something, but it doesn't mean that our body will be severely deteriorated. So I will always emphasize that if you look at people talk about feng shui, it's about drinking adequate water, good water, and breathe well to boost up your energy. Feng shui is about energy. But to me, feng shui is about ventilation of your air and good quality of the water, adequate to your body. So I'm a person who emphasize a lot of drinking good water and breathe well to be able to sustain my energy. I can be deficient in something, but it can be addressed easily by going through what they call detoxification. Clear them away through your liver cleansing, your large intestine cleansing, your kidney cleansing, and so forth. Even water detox, water fasting. Okay. If the next time time arises, I can train you how to do water fasting. You can use H2 drop inside and then help to clear away your toxin, especially remove your belly to reduce your belly sizes by melting all the fat, unnecessary fat away. Okay, this is the period of time whereby during MCO since March 18, 2020, right? I've been doing many rounds of the water fasting. Even my daughter experiment with good result. She have done 2 times 48 hours of water fasting, meaning to say she never consumed a single bite of the food by only drinking water with a lot of H2.
Oh,
okay.
I would love to do that. Okay, yeah, maybe
Yes.
we can conduct a class on that.
Yep, I'll do one class on that, no problem.
Okay, another thing is also I find that quite a number of lately I come across quite a number of men, they have this prostate issue. I mean, in terms of their urination, it's not prostate cancer. It's just
I know.
this urination.
Okay.
Even
Okay,
in the 30s, you know.
Yep, understand. Oh yeah, it can be as early as 20. There are some youngsters, young men also with a lot of prostate issue. Why so? Full toxin with the body. Please note, I want you to take note of this. When a lady, please understand, when a lady reach to the end of their path for detoxification, you reach out to their breast. For men will be prostate. I call that the last target. They mean your last target is like bullseye. Okay, when you want to shoot to your target, right? Your last target for your man will be prostate, and for the woman will be the breast. So it's an indication that if you have a lump or probably a cyst located at your breast, it's a sign that your whole body are overly toxin. That means it cover up to your skin, your lymphatic, your liver, your large intestine, your kidney, and so forth. For men, the last target will be at the prostate. I hope this thing make everybody clear. When a man would tell you, oh, I got urination problem, I got prostate problem, I got prostate enlargement, it's a sign to inform you that the body is informing you that your whole body is overly toxin. It's toxicated. You need to clear them away. You need to reset your body. You need to do detox.
Generally for female, as you mentioned, is the breast, but it could be like, you know, a cyst in the ovary or whatsoever, right?
Yes. You understand. But primarily focus more onto the breast.
Understand.
Ovary is because of the bacterial infection, it's because you didn't take care of the vagina and so forth, and because of the coldness. There are many reasons. But like I say, if you are filling the entire body with toxin, the last target will be located for ladies will be at the breast, for the men will be at the prostate.
Okay.
Okay. Always remember that. So that's why, to me, very simple. I will look at where's the last target. Oh, it's located in breast, meaning your whole body are overly toxin. For the men at the prostate, enlargement or calcify, meaning to say, oh, your body is actually overly toxicated.
So one simple process is for them to do the water fasting.
The easier way is water fasting, but eventually still have to clear all your liver stone, your gallstone in the liver. And please note, anyone who more than 30 years old never really do a proper detox, okay, especially at the liver area. Your liver is accumulated with 10,000 pieces of gallstone. Remember, gallstone don't come from gallbladder. The gallstone come from the liver, 10,000 pieces. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else? We are left with 3 minutes. You have 3 more minutes to ask all the necessary questions. Any doubts, any challenges you have experienced, please do not hesitate to ask. This is a time that we're learning together. Okay, so like I said, I'll leave with the 3 minutes. So what I would like to emphasize upon, I really appreciate your time to be here, and really, okay, despite this is actually like, this is like the 3rd session on English session, I hope to do better and better. And the coming on the 2 weeks later, right, we'll be focusing more onto the blood that relate to the longevity and health, okay? Our breast and prostate is along the liver meridian. It means actually the liver is actually in problem. Yes, liver is, okay, please understand, all the organ has ability to do detox, just like breathing on the lung, right? The kidney is actually to filter the water in the blood. Like I said, blood comprises of 90% water. Filtration must be done by the kidney. But left with 10%, that toxicated blood or dirty blood must be cleansed by the liver. But unfortunately today, 1 out of 5 people on earth all got liver problem, especially they call it non-alcoholic liver fat. Okay, if all this liver got stuck, eventually all your blood cannot be cleansed. You will experience many kind of diseases. It can be high blood hypertension. It can be blood sugar high. It can be what they call a high sugar blood content. And like it or not, it will affect your prostate. It will affect your breast. And it's all come back to the fundamental liver. That's why my primary detox organ is always emphasizing on liver nowadays. You still have to cleanse your large intestine with coffee and enema. It can be with bamboo salt. There are many ways to do so. It depends on the severity. Okay, I give an example. I have a lady, 52-year-old. That was about 2017. Okay, he had blood sugar high as 25. Blood sugar was at 25, and he had to inject insulin 4 times a day for 20 years. Okay, I repeat, for 20 years, he had to go for 4 injections of insulin because his blood sugar, even after injection, retained at 25. He wanted to give up a life. The son never allowed that to happen. See, for my health, okay, I told him, well, you have to tell me you want to go the slow way or you want to go for the expedited way. It's like the accelerated way. So he chose for the acceleration. So what I did is actually I asked her to go for coffee enema 2 times a day, go and take 1 bottle of a probiotic and many drops of the H2 together with another product called Revestro is to build the blood. 15 days later, we didn't go for the blood check yet, only check after 24th day because the consumption of the probiotic was meant for 1 bottle a day for the next 24 days. And subsequently, he went for the blood check and the blood sugar dropped from 25 to 14. But 6 months later, it back to normal. Normal means lower than 7.5. Everything can be reversed, provided the #1 priority is to cleanse every part of your organ. Especially, like I say, go and remove all your toxin, your garbage, your free radical. It is reversible, provided you know what you're doing. Okay, of course, I also emphasize that here she has to drink a lot of water. You can't run away not drinking water. I have a recent case, stage 4 lung cancer, stage 4 large intestine cancer. Okay, because of the pain, he abstained from taking anything, not even drinking water. So eventually he become dehydrated. The fundamental for everything to be removed is the same like you need water. Now, I always give an analogy. I scan a lot of ladies, especially seniors, say that, oh, you ask me to drink a lot of water, I don't like to drink water. I only like to drink liquid with flavor. So I give an analogy. Let me give you a very powerful soap for you to clean your skin with condition that when you bathe, right, no water allowed. Would you be able to clean your body? Same goes to your body. You can tell me I'm taking H2, but never drink more adequate water to dilute with the H2. You're not able to cleanse all the toxin from the body because every single drop of the cell has a lot of water content. Your whole body is 70% water content. Your brain itself is 83% water content. Your single drop of the water, your single drop of your blood is more than 90% water content. Even your liver needs a lot of water to go and do detox. If you don't drink water, you will get heated up. It's the same like your car engine with no water to do cooling down, you'll get overheated, eventually it will collapse. Okay, I hope that answers everybody's doubts. And thank you very much. As we are approaching to 10 o'clock, so I'll pass my mic. If you don't have any further question, I'll pass the mic back to Jeffrey. Thank you very much.
All right, everyone. So our Zoom health sharing has come to an end. So thank you everyone for coming, and we will see everyone for the next session, which is next 2 weeks for the English session. All right. So thank you everyone's time and have a good night, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Please refer to your introducer who want to know more about the stuff. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you, everyone.